I got the mic working so I can explain what I'm doing here in this giant fucking mess. So this is the other half of my base where I have oil. I have a truck stop here, and that is shipping rubber and plastic all the way back. I was getting sulfur from up there. As you can see, it's backed way up. Now, sulfur combines with coal, and you can make better coal, which burns better in power plants, which is what I was doing in this area. I have another truck stop here. That was transferring sulfur all the way down to some coal mines down here, which I'll show you in a second. I'm in the process of repairing that trucks or changing the truck stop out. So I just have a bunch of backed up sulfur there, right? So what I said, sulfur can combine with coal and it makes compacted coal. Sulfur can also combine with fuel to make turbo fuel. So what I'm trying to get is fuel generators with compacted coal. Compacted coal needs to be made in an assembler here, so it requires two inputs. So I set up this thing, so I'm going to have sulfur in from one side and coal in from the other. Because over here, I have, this is where the truck was going, where these blue arrows are, and the truck would go up here, and then the truck was dropping off tons of sulfur, and the sulfur is just sitting in these bins and going to these assemblers. And there are two, you can see this is a giant mess of spaghetti everywhere. So there are two coal mines over here, and these assemblers are making compacted coal, and they're pushing it out here. It's sitting in here, and it's slowly draining out what I had going. So this side over here is my temporary, these were the coal power plants I was using. So coal requires water and coal. So there's a bunch of power plants I had lined up, and I was originally just pushing compacted coal. Now, a coal power plant puts out about 75 watts. A gas power does 250. So it is much more effective if I can get my compacted coal to do gas powered. So, but in order to do that, you needed oil. And I took forever sending oil elsewhere. So now I'm finally getting it set up. So I have... this is just storage so that the compacted coal wasn't just wasted while I was setting this up. I just set this up. This is going to be 4 refineries. Each of them is going to be making turbo fuel. In order to make turbo fuel, you require regular fuel, and it requires compacted coal. So the compacted coal is set up, the regular fuel will be pumped in, and that's pumping out. This is where the regular fuel is coming from. This is 5 refineries because it takes a little more regular fuel to make turbo fuel. So I make sure I keep caught up. So, but this makes a byproduct of plastic. So as you can see, it's going to make polymer resin, but it's going to put out 4 fuels. So the polymer resin right now is just going to go over here in temporary storage until I figure out what I want to do with it later. So now I don't know if you actually need all these extra pipes just to spread out the fuel. I don't know. But this is where my oil is going to come in, and this is of oil storage. So if I somehow actually have extra oil, it'll back up into the storage, and then I know, like, oh, hey, I can split this oil a little more further. I have not connected the final piping here, which will start everything going. And there's some oil being stored right there. Those are my 2 oil refineries. One of them is a pure oil, so it produces like a bunch of oil, and one of them is just regular. So those are two separate oil rigs that are basically going to pump oil into there. That's going to make fuel, which is going to pump it down there. It's going to mix that fuel with the carbon and pump it back here to these gas-powered generators. So I'm going to start with these 3 and see if I can run them with those 4 refineries. If I can run 4 refineries to run 3 generators, and then if I can run maybe a 5th than this one, or a 4th than this one. These 3 here are currently running on my plastic and rubber production. So plastic and rubber is being produced in these, and it's producing heavy oil residue. That heavy oil residue is being pumped over here to some storage tanks. I don't think I have extra because I'm like just using exactly enough, and it's being pumped heavy oil residue into these 2 refineries here, which are producing fuel to fuel these 2 generators. As you can see, this one working sometimes, not working all the time. So it's like running out of fuel, sort of, maybe, kind of, not quite, right? It's kind of going up and down a little bit, and that is because just the way it's set up. I don't know. I have to look at that later. But anyway, so this is going to be my new power. So once I get these up and running, I can then shut down those coal generators and use that coal to further power this oil and keep going. So this is only one part of the project, and this was just getting power. So right now you can see I am generating 3,000 megawatts. It changes. I have some geothermal, so sometimes geothermal like outputs, and then sometimes it doesn't. And then sometimes it outputs, and then sometimes it doesn't. I'm only consuming 1,200, and this is my whole grid. But once I have the power set up, I can then rewire everything else and not worry, and I just have power. And then I can go back to the other side and start the project of everything that's going to be over there. So yeah, that is just half of my project going forward, and then hopefully I haven't even started them in phase 4. I haven't even like started looking for aluminum and that kind of stuff. That will come later. I just needed to get power. This is just power, all this. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.